I'm Andy, pleased to meet you.
Good to see you.
We are Erasure.
In an Ozone special, we trace the roots of that unmistakable Erasure sound. Over the last 10 years, Erasure have stacked up 9 albums and a staggering 22 hit singles.
We're so untrendy, we're trendy. The most untrendiest band you can think of.
We don't rely on being cool. We rely on sing-along choruses.
It's like ultra pop, really.
I'm a top 10 man.
Ex-choir boy Andy Bell joined up with Vince Clarke to form Erasure in the early 80s. For Andy, it was his big break. Vince, however, was already well known and respected on the pop scene.
The first famous person that I ever saw in London was Vince Clarke. He'd just left Depeche Mode, I think, then.
Operating, generating, new life, new life.
In the early days, there was a lot of egos flying about. And, everybody felt that they were the reason why the band was being successful, myself included.
Complicating, circulating.
The best thing ever was to get a gig. Then after that, the best thing ever was to get a record deal. Then the best thing after that was to get a record in the charts. So they're real high points in my life. Those things I'll always remember.
Well, I wasn't really a Depeche Mode fan. I was into Lena Lovitch, Susie and the Banshees, Blondie, Eurythmics, all the Tourists then, Soft Cell. But I don't think I'd noticed Vince in Depeche Mode. But when I saw pictures afterwards or old video footage of him in Depeche Mode and I noticed him, I thought, oh, how cute, really cute with this long fringe.
You're in another band, of course, with Alison Moyet.
My full name happens to be Geneviève Moyer. That is my name, right?
Sometimes when I think of her name, when it's only a game.
So anyway, Vince quoted it once in a paper. He said he joined up with this bird, you know, and this was her name.
We were like chalk and cheese, you know, very different kind of people. Both had, I think, different ideas of how we wanted the music to sound, and both a little scared of each other.
I just think it's like came to a point where we couldn't achieve any more. It was just like getting very stale, and we both had different things that we wanted to do.
And all I ever knew, only you.
Well, I suppose I was a bit of a power maniac as well, you know, and I like to control everything, and she found that difficult to handle.
We used to listen to the Alf record after she left, and one of my flatmates said to me, I want that to be you in a year's time. And then I met Vince Clarke. And it wasn't fate.
It never happens to me.
After Yazoo broke up, Vince started work on a project with different singers called The Assembly.
It never happens to me.
Fayetteville Sharkey and yourself with The Assembly. I thought the idea with The Assembly was it was going to be a continuing thing, and you team up with various other people in
well, that was the idea, you know. We did that one single, and we were really lucky because we just phoned up Fergal on a Friday, you know, asked him to come down to London. He came down and sang the song, and then went off again, you know. And we thought, this is good, you know, we just phone up any old singer and get him to come down. But once we'd written the songs and recorded some material, we found it really difficult to get the right singers, the right voices.
We did auditions over a weekend.
And all the others were no good. It wasn't because of my talent that I got the job. It was because all the other people were terrible. I was put on a retainer for £150 for 6 months. I was doing nothing for 6 months.
God. Did we recoup that off you?
Yeah, you recouped it, yeah. And they had a single out in between, an Assembly single with Paul Quinn from Borshi Borshi. And I was saying, please be a flop, because I didn't think Erasure would happen if it was a hit.
Erasure's first singles didn't cut the mustard either. Heavenly Action flopped at 100 in the charts.
The first album did terrible, and then someone did a cover version of a track called Ola Moore.
Yeah, Dollar did a cover version.
Dollar did a cover version.
Which did better than ours,
Yeah.
which it shouldn't have done, but it did. And then he wrote Sometimes.
Sometimes catapulted Erasure into the top 10, and they've been there every year ever since.
Wait for you. rescue toy with my affection.
When I sang the bit in between, ha 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 ha, we thought, hit, didn't we?
We did.
And it was, and there was no looking back.
Erasure's not just about music. Their tours sell out worldwide. And the main attraction's Andy and his rather subtle stage wear. Which have been your favourite outfits?
My favourite's Calvin Klein knickers and high heel shoes. And also jewel-encrusted, thumbless cowboy outfit.
In blue.
Blue rhinestone.
So where does the inspiration for the fab frocks come from?
My idol, Debbie Harry. I always used to bleach my hair white and think I could be her. And she was responsible for lots of my wacky outfits with tights and spangly tops, because I thought I would look just as good as her.
But despite Andy's efforts, Erasure are more often likened to those other synthesizer kings.
I think comparisons with the Pet Shop Boys are very surface comparisons, because I don't think our songwriting is similar at all.